Susan is, oh my gosh, I love this woman. Mark loves this woman. We love working with her. Super hardworking. She's part of our 9-month program of the Metabolic Roadmap. And Susan, are we on month 4, I think?
I think so, yeah. Hey, Neil.
Okay.
Yeah, I think month 4.
Month 4, yeah. And amazing is like an understatement for how she's doing. So first of all, Susan, welcome. And how are you? I know we spoke a little before this, but how are you doing?
I'm fantastic. You give me way too much credit, though.
I was just about to say the same thing. Our clients give us way too much credit. You guys do the work.
We all agree we're great. How about that?
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Awesome. So, I guess I just for anybody who, is either on the fence about joining our program or for anybody who really wants to know what it's about, I think the perfect way for us to do that is to, speak to one of our clients who's actually in the program. And that's why Susan was very generous to give us some of her time and actually talk to us. So, Susan, I want to start from the beginning. You clicked the ad, we started talking, and then what next?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what next? So I clicked the ad in Facebook and scheduled a call with Neil, and we talk, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's too expensive. I can't do this. I'm a single woman, divorced of 5 years. Excuse me. So how can I work this in? But on the other hand, I'm feeling lousy. I don't have energy. I'm a triathlete. I've been on the podium before with being a triathlete. I broke my ankle about 3-4 years ago. And now here I am. I can't run around the block without just being exhausted, and my mood and energy levels just to the floor. So you sit there, or I did anyway, probably everybody. You sit there and you debate. And you know what I figured out is I'm worth it. I'm worth that person to me and to everybody around me. I have a staff of 32 people that come to me with issues and I help work through. I'm in a new relationship. I have a 31-year-old daughter that looks at me as a mentor. I don't know why, but she does. So I need to be the best me. Put a price tag on that? That's just crazy. I'm in, Neil. So we started talking about it. I'm thinking, I've tried every diet there is. I want to look like I did before with muscle definition, but mainly I need to sleep at night and I need to get up in the morning and be able to do what people expect me to do and be the best for me and for them. And so I told them both. I told Mark, my trainer, and Neil, like, I'm going to go in blind faith, but I want to check in 3 months because I want to be able to bolt. And I never looked back. 3 months have passed. We're at 4 months. And I just remembered that, I said a 3 month, give me 3 months to decide. And I'm ready to keep going forward. There's no looking back.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm incredibly happy that you made that leap of faith. So let me ask you that, because I didn't actually know that's how you weighed it out. When you were at the crossroads and you were like, should I put the money down?
Yeah.
When you came to the decision that I'm worth it, what was that conversation like with yourself?
It was a battle. It was a good week of battle in my head. I'm one that I live by a budget, and it makes me feel good to live by a budget. I check things off. Where can I fit in the budget? Oh, well, that's going to back off on this. More selfish reasons of shopping, race entry fees because they're expensive. Okay, where can I pull from it? And then, I don't know, I just came home, driving home one night, feeling lousy. I was totally exhausted, near tears, and it wasn't a bad day at work. That's what's bad. It wasn't a bad day, and I feel like it was a bad day.
Right.
I got home, and that's when I Facebook messaged you. It's like, we're moving forward. Right. It doesn't matter. And wherever the money needs to come from, it will, because I've got to invest in myself. And, at first it was hard to say invest in myself for me, because it's just not the way we work,
Right.
I'm going to invest for everybody around me. But then working through all this with you guys, I've realized it's the investment in me, for me, that makes the world around me a better place for everybody.
Right.
So that's how it came.
Yeah, that was very well delivered. And I was saying to one of my clients this morning, young, successful, good guy, and I had to be very stern with him. I'm like, dude, listen, man, the single most important person for you to be successful is you. right? And so
yep.
It's an important message that you just shared with us. And I think the experience of like laying everything out on paper and looking at your life and being like, wait a second, my life is kind of perfect and I'm miserable. What is going on here?
Exactly right.
If you're driving and you're about to cry, you're like, I feel horrible, but everything is perfect.
Right.
Like, that's probably the worst place to be in life.
It was.
It's a winning loser. I hired a mindset coach, and that's what he called me. He's like, you're a winning loser. And he helped me work through that. And that's the message I try to deliver. So I'm very happy that that's kind of the route you went. So now blind faith. You start with us. You're like, okay, I put maybe the spiritual, financial, emotional, energetic commitment to this. Now they're telling me all this stuff that's completely counter to what I'm doing. So how did you get yourself to follow that?
The first couple of weeks was no brainer, no think about it, anything, just follow like a lemming, as I like to tell Mark, I'm your lemming. I will follow whatever you say. I think it was, and I have to go back, and I'm sure you've got it too. It was probably week 3 or 4. I had a total meltdown. This isn't working. The weight isn't coming off. I'm hungry. And I totally was open and vulnerable to you guys. And you both came back. Let's have a call. Let's work through this. What's going on? And that's when it was, I know this sounds just way overboard, but the complete surrender. You melt down, you have your fit, and then you really start listening. And that's when we got it back on track. And from then on, it's smooth sailing. And as you know, there's times when I will message Mark or message the Quantum Facebook group, and I'll have to negotiate. It's like, okay, I'm feeling really good.
Right.
Let me bike, let me run, let me box, let me do all these things 5 days a week. And I will, in turn, make sure I hit every one of my macros, and there's that back and forth. And sometimes you guys rein me in. It's like, no, you're not going to.
Right.
And that's what I need to hear.
Yeah, I'm laughing because Mark is like he's the softie. He's actually the bigger one, and he's the softie, right? So when a client's upset, he's like, oh my god, right? And I'll say, like, dude, forget their emotions. Their goals is the most important thing. Okay. And so it's a good counterbalance. But I think you said that very well. We negotiate. Because guys, for those who don't know, Susan is the type of client that will ask to do more work. And I'll be like, guys, Susan, you don't need to run 40 miles today, okay?
That's exactly what you say too. It's like, okay, you can run a mile, but no more than that. Right. Okay, our negotiation there, I got a little bit of what I need to feel successful when you guys are reining me back so I won't go over the edge again. So, and that's what it's about, is you feed me a little and I'm okay for a while.
It's right. It's just like getting a little bite of the sweet so you don't have the whole thing.
Right.
So that brings me to my next question, because like now for anybody who is thinking about joining our program and then ends up joining, okay, I want them to have a model to be successful, okay? You're, of course, successful so far. What advice would you give to people so that they can succeed once they've committed?
Yep. And I think I'd kind of go back. Be open to that vulnerability. Tell them where you're at. They can't read my mind that I'm struggling over here. They can't read it in an email or a text. They have to hear from you to say, this isn't working. I need to renegotiate with you guys, or I just need to have this meltdown period. I did it with Mark last week, the 4th of July weekend, 2 weekends ago. I was out on the river the entire weekend. I ate just whatever was in front of me. Stuff I would have never ate before. Of course, I drank too much. It's the river and our kayaks and a big group of people, right? So I come back to Mark with, I apologize, Mark, man, I blew it, but I'm back on track on Monday. I ate and drank, and I told him all of this. I missed a workout. I was like kicking myself because this is the first time since I've joined with you guys that I've really just missed everything. And man, he came back, and I think you may have also, Neil, you guys came back and said, no, it's fine. Just get back on track. And I can't remember how he worded it, and it might have been you. We don't want you to have any aversion from food. You did it. It's okay. Get back on track. It's those kinds of things, because as a woman, and I'm speaking for the whole group of women and men probably, that we'll be the hardest on ourselves when we're committed to something. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat a Tic Tac for lunch now because I just ate a hot dog, and I hadn't had a hot dog in 10 years, but it was the best hot dog, so I better just have a Tic Tac. No, you guys, you don't make me do that. You say it's okay. And that's kind of what the program is about for me. I need to know that I'm not going to go off track again. And it's okay.
That exactly, and I love that that's what you picked up from it. I didn't know that was you picked that up so strongly. That's fantastic. I had somebody ask me about like how I stayed successful. I'm like, honestly, at this point, I'm probably doing a little bit worse than all my clients. But here's the difference: I have been at 80% of what I'm supposed to do for 7 years straight.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? I'd rather somebody at 80% for 7 years straight than trying to be at 100% for 6 weeks straight.
Yeah. Right? I like that a lot. Yeah, totally.
So that's some fantastic advice.
That's great advice.
I really appreciate it. So, all right, two more questions. Let's start with this one. Anybody on the fence who's thinking about joining, Susan, what would you say to them?
Don't be on the fence. You owe it to yourself, and you owe the people around you to join, because it makes you a better person. And for me, it was more pleasurable for people, and I can give them all of me. I couldn't before. I just couldn't do it. With everything that I'm on track, I have that and more.
Amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. And last thing, Susan. Okay, ready? If you don't mind, and seriously, if this is something you don't want to share, we don't have to. But can you tell the tree stump story? Because I was like, woohoo!
Oh my gosh, it's the best story.
Oh, please, okay, you're willing to share. Awesome.
I'm gonna get emotional. It's a tree stump. I know, right? So
that's awesome.
So I'm divorced after 34 years of marriage, and the last thing that man, because it's an interview being recorded, I'll say that man, but my ex said on the courthouse steps was, I hope you live under a bridge or in a tar paper shack, meaning I hope I ruined you, Well, that's in my head, and that's also on my journey as well. That's eating at me, and that's why I'm so scared of my budget and everything. So while I was married, there was a tree stump on the ground level, and every time I mow over it, the blade would hit, and I would think of him. Well, 2 Sundays ago, I cannot deal with that tree stump anymore, and the thought of him, and it's been 5 years of divorce, right? So I get a chainsaw out, and the guy that I'm seeing now, 2 years, he's ready to do it for me. It's like, no, I have to do this stump on my own. So I went out there. Now, that stump took me probably 3 hours. I just had to chip pieces of it away. But I had the core strength and the arm strength to hold that darn chainsaw in 100-degree weather to chip it away. I have a hole, and now I'm going to put a whole bed of flowers in it with some trim around it, and that is my new way. That is me now. I had enough energy, enough tenacity. I felt good about myself that I am done with running over it. See, I get emotional with this. I'm not living under a bridge, nor am I a tar paper shack. No, I am good now. I feel it. And that in turn makes me a stronger internal person. And I thank you guys for that. And I did in that text. It's amazing what getting back on track and feeding your body right and treating your body right, what it does to your mental and emotional state. So yeah, sorry. That's my stump story.
Oh, thank you. It's funny. Literally, the sun just came. You see the sun just came. You told the story.
There you go.
Crazy. That's some like cosmic energy right there. Wow. But oh man, Susan, you're a bright light in this world. We love working with you. Hopefully that this really helped somebody who's watching this. I'm confident that it did. And yeah.
Anybody can reach out to me, Neil, at any point. I'll tell them the honest truth, good, bad, and indifferent. So please have them reach out to me.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, Susan, I look forward to continuing to work with you. The coolest thing is I think we're stepping now into like a newish phase of our goals, which is really, really exciting. And once again, like, thank you so much for doing this, and thank you for being an amazing client.
Oh, thank you guys. You're awesome.
Awesome.